Welcome back to CutRateCrafts.com, where you can save 15 to 30% every day by shopping online with us. Today's product, or tool, is the Embellish-Knit, and I like to nickname it my little clicky click because of the sound that it makes. Let me show you a little bit about this product. This is not a demonstration on how to load up this particular apparatus, but showing you why I like this tool and what it actually does. Usually, I have a rule, go big or go home, and this is not one of those tools where you can actually say that kind of thing. You have to be very conscious about the yarn that you're using with your Embellish-Knit because of the way that it works. And what happens is that the material actually has to go down through the top and then out through the bottom. And if you see the diameter of that, you will tell that you really can't get a good thick yarn inside this piece of equipment. So you need to be very conscious to make sure that your yarn, for example like the Bernat Softy Chunky, is way too thick and will not work in this tool. The other reason why I chose to review this tool also is that the needles inside are actually a metal or steel. And for that reason, you know, you kind of wonder in today's technology, everything is being converted to plastic. That plastic makes me afraid sometimes, especially when you have moving parts, whether it's going to last or not. So what was a big sell for me was actually the metallic needles. Right now we're going to zoom in on actually a clicky click or an Embellish-Knit in the actual process, and you can see how the needles are going up and down as you rotate it from round and round, and you can see that it's doing it pretty effortlessly and that you don't require a lot of cranking power to be able to do that. One thing with the Embellish-Knit that I did notice is that you need to actually practice a few times before you actually start trying to create your products. And the reason for that is that you have to get a feel for this machine. You have to actually keep your eyes on the needle. You have to be able to start to trust this. Because if, for example, that it misses a stitch, you will notice that your entire piece will actually fall apart. So it's one of those things to get to understand your tool. It's just like your car. You want to be able to understand it, and so if you hear a weird sound that you know something is going wrong. And you're also going to want to do this. Your Embellish-Knit comes with an actual weight. This looks like a clothes hanger, but there's actually some steel inside this. And what happens is that the material is going to go down through the top, out through the bottom, and this just snaps into place, and so that it can just continually pull down the material. This tool will not work if you do not have this, so make sure you don't lose that, because without the weight pulling down, it'll just get raveled up into the top. So the question becomes, what do you actually make with this? You actually get really nice fine snake-like items out of this tool. This for me is actually a lanyard. Remember those people with shoelaces that usually go to trade shows? Literally just about 5 minutes you will have a lanyard done, and it's just a matter of clicky clicky, and you will see that the yarn of this is actually really quite spectacular because I've used Koigu yarn and it's really thin and it transitions. It's all hand painted yarn. It actually makes for a really interesting concept. So the badges just have to hang from this silver plated ring that's a jewelry piece at the end. So you just have to be conscious of the material that you're using. It says that you can use anything like an eyelash yarn, which is actually possible. You just have to make sure that if you are using eyelash yarn, that the actual string on the interior, not the lashes itself, but the string on the interior is actually pretty thin in order to work down through this tool, because if the eyelashes are way too much, and when it goes to compress into the center of this, it will not fit down in. Well, this machine is pretty inexpensive. It is available on CutRateCrafts.com. It's actually not available in any of the stores that I've been able to frequent within my area. So being able to buy it online is actually a pretty neat thing. It's pretty addictive once you get going, and then you start thinking about other ideas. Maybe you want to do a snake kind of trimming for your crafts or anything like that. It's just really quite a fun tool, safe for kids. You can see that it has a guard that goes around of it so that your kids' hands won't get stuck in the interior. It's actually a really well made product, and I'm very happy with it. I've done 20 different lanyards with this, and the machine still sounds great. It's held up really well, and I look forward to using this in the future. So until next time, I'm Mikey from CutRateCrafts.com.